Welcome to the Mami Millennials podcast, where we don't claim to have all the answers, just a willingness to figure it out. We're your hosts, Jocelyn
and Lauren, proud girl moms and best friends sharing our take on mommyhood. Whether you're changing a dirty diaper, stuck in traffic, or just have a minute to yourself,
we're so happy you're here. Hi.
Sorry, not the deep sigh. Girl, I am tired. I can't believe we're in June.
I know.
Halfway through the year. The midway point.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow.
Summer's about to start. Which makes me really nervous.
I mean, I feel like summer has started. It's just last week we had all that rainy weather, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I say makes me nervous because in my mind, summer hasn't started until school's out.
I'm not,
Oh my gosh. My heart just started beating really fast.
I'm surprised your school's not year round.
I mean,
at her age.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Kids going to school year round?
Aurora's school is year round, the one she's going to go to in the fall.
She doesn't have a summer break?
No. And then the other one that we had looked at was also year round.
Oh, I'm jealous. I mean, we could pay for her to go.
But it's like one price year round for me.
Yeah. I'm jealous about that.
Until she's like in kindergarten or something. And then I'm like, come on, guys. Because tuition does not go down.
It also doesn't feel like summer has happened or started because the weather has been really crappy.
Yeah, I mean, like always here, right? We had a couple of nice days and then we had monsoons. Mm-hmm. It's been drizzling and I'm like, monsoons. Girl, Aurora is going stir crazy being inside. Homegirl hates being inside.
Yeah, for actual Memorial Day, when Mila didn't have school, that was kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. We all went a little stir crazy. I mean, I was proud of myself for how creative I was getting.
Uh-huh.
But then I was pretty overstimulated by the time the day ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was so tired on Memorial Day.
It was so funny. She was like, we're getting ready for bedtime. She's like, no, I'm not ready to go to sleep. I'm like, yeah, you had way too much fun today. It is time for us to
go to sleep.
She's like, oh, I don't want to. And I'm like, I bet you don't. Go to sleep. Like, mom needs a break.
Girl, Aurora's been going out in the rain. She was going out in the rain.
That's really cute.
Is it? Because the Latino in me is like, se va a enfermar.
For me, it's like, I can't deal with the
And guess what? She did get a cold.
Stuff. Of course she didn't, because that's not true.
She did.
Oh, she did? Oh.
Yes. She got a cold.
Dang.
And so I'm like, everybody's right.
I never believed
because she went out in the rain. And then I'm like, I should have washed her hair. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Like, you go out in the rain and then you got to make sure you put warm water over the head to, like, I don't know. I'm like, se va a enfermar y se enfermó. And now I'm convinced it was the rain.
I don't know about all these old wives' tales. Old wives' tales?
Listen.
Are
the
those
accent
old wives'
is my
tales?
thing. I don't know
Not
because
old wives' tales. That's for pregnancy, right?
I mean, yeah, that's how people talk about them. But I'm like, are there old wives' tales for other things that aren't pregnancy? Maybe. But whatever this is, I think it's just a Latino thing. The whole like going out in the rain. And I remember one time I asked a nurse, I don't remember why.
And
I said, they said that's not how science works or something like that. And I was like, well, my ancestors say that, what was it for? I was working on a campaign and obviously I'm working on like Latino voter turnout or something like that. The person helping me run it was a nurse, a volunteer, and she happened to be a nurse. And we had Latinos coming to knock on doors to canvass for the campaign. And it was raining. Mm-hmm. And people had started canceling. And she was like, why are people canceling? And I was like, well, it's raining. And she was like, and I was like, oh, well, Latinos believe that if it's raining and you get wet, you get sick. So we're not going to be out here in the rain. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I mean, you're a nurse. Is there any truth to that? And she was like, there is no truth to that.
And you still believe it?
Absolutely. Look, my daughter was out in the rain and now she's sick.
Is this considered a superstition?
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it is. Not an old wives' tale.
Now I'm like, let me look it up. Is there any truth to it?
We can do a fact check later.
Okay, fine. But yep, I'm over the rain.
I'm over the rain. What I am excited about when the summer comes is all the activities that go on.
We outside.
Outside.
We're gonna be outside.
Yeah. And then it gets really humid and I start to question why I live in the DMV.
You know,
a little bit.
Hot take.
I like the humidity.
I don't mind it.
You're gross.
I do not mind it that much. I mean, people at work are always complaining, and I always joke, and I'm like, my people are from the tropics. This is my weather.
I hate it. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, I'm going to die for me. But it's like, this is really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It's just because my hair doesn't know how to act.
So, yeah, I felt like I had my hair under control, and then I had a baby, and now my hair is all crazy, and I do agree with that.
Yeah.
The hair part is really annoying.
Yeah. That's honestly, I can deal with everything else. The mosquitoes are a little annoying too.
Yeah.
But
can I convince you to maybe kick off our summer we outside outings with an event on Friday?
ooh, tell me more.
So, do you remember Brian?
Of course.
Do you want to tell everybody who Brian is?
Brian from Social Mag?
Yeah.
Our buddy.
Our new BFF, in my heart BFF.
Brian did our photos for the Mami meetup.
Yeah, and he sponsored a couple episodes.
And he's amazing.
Yeah, we love Brian. And we love what Brian's doing.
What a pleasant surprise, too. We didn't know him. He was recommended.
So we end up without a videographer right before our meetup. And, you know, once something's in in our heads, you guys know I'm a manifester. So once I see something, I can't unsee it and it needs to happen. So the day before the meetup, I think it was, we're like, okay, we need a videographer. Like, what are we going to do? And, you know, your girl's well connected. So
You're so annoying.
I have a cousin for everything. And I hit up one of my cousins who owns a restaurant in the DMV. Shout out to Henrietta El Viejo. Also heard they're like the best pupusas in Washingtonians' top 100 restaurants.
Whoa.
I'm a bad cousin because I've never been, but I want to so badly. Anywho,
We can go.
so yeah, let's do that. Next Mommy meetup, Henry's gonna be like, girl. So I hit up Henry because he does really good videos. And I was like, hey, I have this event tomorrow. I need a videographer. Who do you recommend? And he's like, my boy Brian. And he sends me a contact for Brian Social Mag. I thought that was his last name. I thought Social Mag was his last name.
I thought Social was his last name.
Well, also,
Brian
I
Social.
called it Show Shell for a long time because that's just how my brain read it. I was like, Show Shell. And you were like, girl, what? It's Social.
I was like, it's just a different way to spell the word social.
It's like, okay. So Brian came through.
Brian came through and we really had I didn't know the type of work that he had done.
Yeah.
You did. And then I looked him up before because I'm like, let me see what kind of quality
Yeah.
we're going to get out of
She's
this.
like, what kind of janky ass videographer did this bitch
I was
bring?
trying to be nice.
and then bam.
And then I was really impressed and I was really excited at that point to have Brian show up, and he came through and he just has such a cool demeanor. I love the way he carries himself. He really integrated himself into the event, and we stayed connected after the event, and we've been loving his content, and we definitely recommend that you guys check him out if you're looking for someone to help you with those types of things.
Yeah. I mean, his bread and butter is restaurants, home designers, builders, things like that. But I would say like anything kind of business related, any type of promo material.
But like fun
material.
stuff. I think
Yeah,
he really
absolutely.
like wants to work with cool people doing cool things.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really stuck to me because
We're cool.
and he was doing cool things with us.
Yeah.
And he's doing something extremely cool on Friday.
Oh, so you already know about the thing I'm inviting you to. You just hadn't invited me.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, please tell our audience.
I was hoping that you were going to say it's his event.
Oh, yeah, were you?
Please tell me that it's his event that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Great. So,
Uh-huh.
June 5th, Friday, June 5th, 5:30 p.m. Washington, D.C., Northeast, at Lost Gen Brewing.
I'm so glad you actually knew about this because I was like, let's go to Brian's event and I ain't have none of the details.
I looked it up because, the weather has been spotty. It's been hit or miss. I'm not trying to be outside for this event if it's going to be raining.
But guys, it's a really cool event.
It's indoors and there's going to be, I think, about 10 vendors, maybe more.
And they're hot sauce vendors.
Hot sauce.
So I'm not a hot sauce girly.
But I am.
And y'all know I'm like an IBS girly. So like, I'm sure there will be fun things for me to do there. My husband, however, is a hot sauce lover.
Same.
LUVR. Like my man's loves him some hot sauce.
My dad loves hot sauce.
Really?
Just as much as Yassine does. Why are you laughing?
Because my dad hates hot sauce. But when Steve and I first started dating, the first birthday he celebrated with me and my family, we went to Peking Duck, which I go every year for my birthday. And he ordered their like spicy hot sauce. And Steve did. And so then my dad is like, give me some of that hot sauce. And he's like, I eat hot sauce sometimes. I like hot sauce. And he put the tiniest little bit. And we were like, what kind of weird competition
is happening
here? Like, also, Steve doesn't know you guys are competing. So this is weird. So I will not take my dad to the event.
You can buy some hot sauce for your dad, though.
And take it back and be like, since you like hot sauce so much, sir, here you go.
Maybe there's some lighter ones.
Maybe. I'm really excited to see. Don't get me wrong. I like a little kick. Like a little.
Yeah, don't get me wrong either. I'm not over here like, no. I'm just putting a little drop here and there. Although my tolerance has improved, I think.
Steve, one of Steve's best friends from New York, can take some spice.
Yeah. No, that's my dad.
Really?
That's my dad.
Like, Lewis can take some spice, and I want him to come down.
He should.
I told Steve, I was like, tell Lewis to come.
I think there's going to be some really great food vendors, too. I think Makedo is going to be there.
Really? Shout out to Social Mag.
I can't wait.
I know, I'm so excited.
Shout out to Brian at Social Mag.
Yes, we love you.
Thanks, Brian.
I'm like, was that aggressive to say we love you?
I was a little
Yeah, it's a little aggressive. Like, he's a married man. I'm a married woman. It's kind of weird.
We can cut that out. No, but honestly, I've just been trying to do things that bring me a lot of joy these days.
You've mentioned.
I'm feeling really anxious this week in particular.
Yeah, what is going on?
I just can't stop thinking about this I was going to say movie. It's a documentary on Netflix called The Crash.
Oh my gosh, I've seen that all over social media. I've not watched yet.
I can't stop thinking about it because it has made me super paranoid about the girls growing up and being teenagers.
Okay, well, I've seen bits and pieces on social media, but you gotta
don't know what it's about.
No, not really. Like a little bit. Like a girl crashed.
Yes.
I say girl because I think she was young.
Yes, she was young. She was young when it happened.
Well, all I've seen on social media is like people hate her. And everybody's really mad and like riled up about it.
I'm very riled up about it.
That's why I've decided not to watch because I'm like, I got to control my stress levels. I've been watching Couples Therapy on Paramount. So
Also a good show.
After I watched
Not
Running
also, but-
Point on Netflix. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, that one's good.
My gosh, you've watched everything. I don't mean that in a bad
Are you
way.
judging me? But
No,
you know,
no. I'm just like, wow, you've really watched everything.
I stopped watching Running Point.
Oh, I finished. I love it.
To be fair, that's my way of decompressing. I like watching things.
But I rewatch things.
Yeah, no.
You know,
I like to watch
the same thing on repeat.
The new. I like to watch the new stuff. I mean,
you've put me on to a couple of things in the past. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the crash is about this girl who crashes into a building at full speed, over 100 miles per hour, with her boyfriend in passenger seat and one of her best friends in the back. Boyfriend and friend die on impact.
Oof.
And this girl makes it out of alive.
Girl, how?
I have no idea, but early on in the documentary, you don't really know
where she ended up.
No, more like you don't really know, like, okay, you know, your mind starts to go to, okay, maybe she was drunk. Maybe she was doing drugs. Maybe whatever. They got into a fight. Who knows? And it starts to unravel, and they found shrooms in the car.
Oh my God.
So then...
High schoolers?
Yes. So then immediate
God.
connection goes to, oh, they were doing shrooms and she hallucinated or some shit, and she was just going, speeding, and then drove into the wall. Comes back negative, no shrooms in her system. Then they start showing like she's a big stoner.
Okay.
But some of the footage that they showed of her content that she was putting out on social media, that was what was really starting to trigger me.
Okay.
Not trigger me, but yeah, I guess trigger me and put me into a tailspin because
I'm like, what kind of content was she putting out?
She was recording herself driving and smoking these ginormous blunts. Like this big.
Oh my God.
I'm not exaggerating, girl.
Okay.
I promise you I'm not.
I believe you.
Insanely huge.
Okay.
And I just couldn't even believe what I was watching. She's doing that while driving. And other stuff that she would record is like...
And she would post this?
Yeah, she would post this, ripping bong hits.
Oh my God.
She would record herself talking shit about girls in school.
Wow.
She was very materialistic. All she cared about was designer stuff and her boyfriend buying her all this stuff. She was just a mean girl.
Okay.
And ultimately they were all hanging out. Like it was like a tight knit group of friends. They were all hanging out at someone's house, and it wasn't even a party. There was no drinking. They were just like smoking, chilling. And then at like 5 a.m., I think it was, she was like, okay, I'm going to take you.
Oh my God.
I'm going to take you. And
where did her parents think she was? Or their parents?
I couldn't tell you. It just felt very normal.
Okay. That's just kind of how they operated in life.
This is Ohio, so I don't know how they do things there, but.
Okay.
And 5 a.m., she's like, I'll take y'all home. They get in the car. There's footage, traffic cameras showing her like turn a corner very normally. And then on a long strip, that's when you see she starts to book it. And it's like, zoom, like a rocket ship goes by. And then they actually show the car.
My like anxiety is like.
Yeah. They show the car right before it crashes. They didn't have footage of the car actually hitting the building, but you hear it.
Oh my God.
And it was just so sad. I mean, she was in full casts and all sorts of stuff for months. And
yeah, I'm like, how did she survive that? How does one survive that?
I have no idea. They start doing more research, and they find no brakes before, like no brake.
Oh,
no
the
braking.
car tells that?
Like, yeah, you can like run a report before a crash happens. No signs of braking at all. It was over 100 miles per hour. And there was just like a little bit of a steering wheel yank that it also picked up, which they assumed that was maybe the boyfriend or maybe the best friend trying to get her to stop. Or who knows? You know, there's a bunch of theories out there. There's some people on her side.
What?
Yeah, I don't believe.
Okay, I haven't been on that side of the internet.
Yeah. There's some crazy people that, in my opinion, are crazy for thinking that she didn't do that shit on purpose. She was very manipulative.
Well, I think it's hard to believe that someone did that on purpose.
I agree.
Like, I mean, because it's just like,
I totally
who
agree.
would do that and why?
For most of the documentary, you are assuming that there has to be a plausible explanation as to why it happened. Whether it's an argument, maybe the boyfriend was hitting her, like something. And just everything pointed back to her just being the one to do it. And yeah. So the reason why it's driving me crazy is because I am so scared about our girls finding themselves in a chill hangout situation.
Yeah.
And them getting into the car of what they thought was a friend giving them a ride, and then
shit going south.
I'm not going to go as far as to say that they
of course,
do something
yeah,
like
just
this,
like,
but just something going wrong.
Yeah, like, yeah.
And obviously, I don't know. I felt so much for the families that suffered, and it just made me start thinking about so many different things, like, how am I going to be if the girls want to start to dabble in things and try different things, drink alcohol, maybe do some drugs? I don't know. Or
girl, okay.
I know this is early to start thinking about it.
Aura ring, I apologize in advance for my stress levels for the next 45 minutes to an hour.
Do you think I'm crazy for...
No, I think about this far too often.
I don't think about this often, which is why it's getting to me.
I think about, and I like ask Steve, I'm like, if she were to come home high, let's say, God forbid, right? If she were to come home high or drunk, I am almost certain she could hide it from me. Like, almost certain. Because there have been people around me my whole life that are high, drunk, whatever. And I'm like, Lauren, did you notice so-and-so was acting a little weird? Maybe they were having an off day. And whoever I'm with will be like, no, girl, they were high as a kite. And I'm like, what? Or I'd be like, wow, how do people party so late, multiple days in a row, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, people would be like, because they're coked up. And I'm like, what? People do those things. So I'm certain she could hide it from me.
I'm also very naive. So, like, I'm in the same boat as you, by the way.
I am hopeful she couldn't hide it from Steve. And I ask him, I'm like, do you think she'd be able to hide it from you? And he's like, no, I think I'd be able to tell. And
I think it's different for your daughter. I think you'd be able to tell.
You think I would?
You've known her whole life.
I should ask my mom. I mean, I didn't really do anything bad in high school. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I still, you know, like, I was on the straight and narrow, mainly out of fear for my dad.
Talk to me about that.
So my dad, my whole life, he would be like, you better not do drugs. You better not drink. You better not do anything bad. You need to make smart choices. Because if you make a bad choice and you end up in jail, I am not coming to save you. I am not getting a lawyer. I'm not sending you money. You will suffer the consequences of your actions. And that fear, to this day, I don't think he would save me.
I was just going to ask you if you thought that was just for show.
No. My dad is a big believer that if someone is in jail because they did something they weren't supposed to do, that's where they're supposed to be. And, you know, they have to suffer. Like, those are the consequences of their actions. And, like, you rot there. I don't care. So there's no doubt in my mind that he'd be like, oh, Sorry. Shouldn't have done
Well, I'll
that.
tell you one thing's for sure, that homegirl's dad did not feel that way.
I mean, I'm like, ugh, but then, I struggle with Aurora.
He really is. He's really fighting for her to get out of there. He genuinely thinks that they said that she has POTS or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes I think I have POTS.
So they're like, yeah, maybe she blacked out while driving. But everyone that was trying to figure out if that was a feasible explanation, they were like, if you have POTS and blackout, your foot is going to come off.
Yeah, absolutely. You like, bleh,
yeah.
Bleh.
So her foot was
obviously
on the
pushing
on the pedal.
I'm like, did she have a seizure?
I don't think so. But anyway, the dad thinks that smoking weed is totally fine because he smokes weed.
Oh, okay.
And then secondly, he thinks that she didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I don't know that he said that per se, but he kind of believes that if he's fighting that hard to get her out.
Yeah, I mean, we all like believe the best of our children, right? Out of our children.
I think that it's an interesting approach. Yours, your dad's, and this guy, because look what giving her a little too much freedom looked like.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily looking at those two options as two different extremes, but they kind of are.
Yeah, they are. I mean, my parents did not give me a lot of freedom growing up. I was like joking. I'm like, I was so popular in high school. I was popular. I was well known. I wasn't like a weirdo or anything, but I didn't go to parties. Like, I didn't go to parties. Or why are you looking at me like that?
I feel like I just heard you recently talk about how you were always partying.
Not in high school.
Oh, we're talking high school.
Yeah,
you
not in
partied
high
in
school.
college.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about college too, girl. I'm talking about
but
high school.
Can't control what their kids do in college.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm thinking big picture. I'm thinking college is when things start to really pop off, and because I like give a little bit more, and I don't know. I'm just nervous.
What do you mean you give a little bit more?
Like, I'll probably give a little bit more freedom in college.
Lauren, you have no choice in college. Like, this idea that you will give freedom in college, they're in college. You're not there.
I know, but you're right. It's not about giving freedom or not giving freedom. It's maybe like, in my head, I'll probably...
Oh, like their actions will be more justifiable.
Yeah.
Like, drinking in college is not as bad as drinking in high school.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. And that makes me nervous too, because it's just...
So, yeah.
It's not necessarily... Like, I don't know.
I know what you mean, because I think it's a tough balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because, at least for me, like I said, I didn't do anything in high school. I didn't party. I mean, people would come over to my house and we would have like parties, but they were very tame in comparison to other people's parties. And my house was like a little bit of a hangout house. But then in college, I was wild.
Yassine really wants us to have a hangout house.
I want to have a hangout house too. Yeah, me too.
Like, he's really big on that. He's like, we need to make sure our house is cool enough where the kids come back to our place so that we can see what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And I could see that actually working. Mm-hmm. I really do.
Yeah.
High school wasn't that crazy for me either. I just was exposed to a lot in middle school and high school that I knew wasn't where I should be or part of, but I some of the friends that I had chose to go down certain paths, and I was there for it. And I am nervous about, I mean, here's the thing. I'm going down this spiral, right? Mm-hmm. I know that the answer is I can't control everything that happens. Mm-hmm. I can't control our girls' actions. Mm-hmm. Right? But what I can do is try to teach them how to handle situations where they feel unsafe or they feel disrespected or they are in difficult situations that they don't know how to get out of, being vigilant, being, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all of those things are so important. And
I struggle with that.
which part?
With like being vigilant, what can happen, blah, 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 because I'm totally with you. I also am fearful of instilling too much fear
I know.
and taking the joy out of things
And like you said,
and the like carefreeness of like girlhood.
there needs to be a balance, I think.
I have no idea what that balance is.
Me either. I mean, seriously, that's why I have been totally lost the last
Because I'm
few
not going to
days.
lie, a part of me is like, yeah, my dad's way worked.
Yeah.
Right? It kept me out of trouble. To this day, it keeps me out of trouble. But I don't want Aurora growing up with the thought that if she makes a mistake or has poor judgment, I'm going to abandon her. And I don't know what that balance is.
Yeah.
You know, my dad has a lot of thoughts about my way of parenting Aurora, and he doesn't agree with a lot of it. And like, we'll see what happens as she grows up. All I can do is teach her our values, I guess.
Yeah. I think that definitely plays a big role.
And make sure she's confident.
Yes. The confidence piece is really important. Confident about the decisions that you're making, confident about the potential outcomes that could come out of it. And then also, just for me, it's the trust aspect. I want them to trust that if they do find themselves in a situation that they need help, they'll call us. You know? And not call us because they're scared of what could happen. Like, we're going to punish them or whatever. I know that that's a part of adolescence. It's very, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a part of ours. I don't know if that is going to continue to be a part of theirs.
So I wonder about that too, you know, because when we were in high school, I mean, did you guys do skipping parties?
There were skipping parties all the time, but I never attended.
I never attended either. I always wanted to, I'm not going to lie.
I'm trying to even think if I skipped ever. I think I skipped like maybe
I skipped senior year.
like a lot.
Yeah, like in the mornings, especially like once I was in college. I'd go hang out at my friends' houses and
I mean, college is
stuff
different.
no, like once I had been accepted. I was still in high school.
Oh, I see.
But I drove myself to school, and so
Yeah, you had so much freedom.
you know, in the mornings we just like all go to somebody's house and like
I just
chill, and then I'd go to school when I felt like it.
Yeah, no, I never found myself in any situation where I was like, I'm going to go skip. I'm going to skip and go to that party.
Yeah, no, that I never did because school would call. They would call the house. And so I was always deathly afraid that school would call and, you know, my parents would get the call. And my dad at the time, it's because he's had eyes everywhere, girl. My dad at the time worked for a painting company, like a relatively large one in the area. And they had trucks out all the time. And he was the foreman. So everybody worked for him. And he told them that if they ever saw my car out or they saw me out, they would need to tell him, and they would. And so he would get calls like, you know, that I was on 495 or whatever and how fast I was going and if I had people in the car. And he would call me and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" So I even remember, so my mom let me do senior skip day. And all we did was a carne asada at a friend's house.
LOL.
And I took the back roads through the neighborhoods so that no one would see me. Because my mom and I, we came to an agreement. She was like, "Listen, I'm going to let you do senior skip day. Your dad would never go for it. So like, just be careful. Just like go from the house straight to the house, take the back roads, and you'll be fine." I was like, "Okay, great. Thanks, Mom." I do that. And someone calls him that they saw me, and he called my mom. And he was like, "Your daughter is not in school, blah, 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 blah." And my mom had to be like, "Yes, it's senior skip day." And I let her do it. And he was like, "What do you mean you let her do it?" And she was like, Luis, she graduates in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
chill out.
it's fine.
And I know
Please.
where she's at.
Exactly.
See, that's another thing
exactly.
where I'm like, I would rather just know.
Yeah.
And, you know, now things are a little bit different because you have location.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
you know, all that stuff. But I don't know. I know that this is just because it's top of mind. I do want to believe that things are changing here and there. And I'm hopeful that by the time the girls are in high school or college, it'll be a little bit better.
I hope so. But girl, I don't have that much hope.
I'm hopeful.
I'm going to be honest. Like, and I don't know if it's own trauma from growing up being in high school in the early 2000s. You know, Latina teen pregnancy was
I know
crazy.
But I feel like those rates have gone down.
Oh, absolutely. They have.
You know, and even suicide rates are going down. Teen suicide rates are going down.
But that worries me, being in high school during the Mean Girl era.
Yeah.
And like bullying.
Bullying.
I think it was with you that I was talking the other day that I was like, I don't know. I feel like bullying is not a thing anymore. And was it you? Whoever I was talking to was like, it most certainly is.
I probably said that, but I don't know that we were talking about it.
And I was like, what? And they were like, kids are mean.
Well, there's also cyberbullying, which is a whole other layer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to be giving a cell phone on the earlier side or social media.
Oh, for sure.
It's too harmful. There's just no reason why they need to get on it at an earlier age.
Yeah.
I know that I have moments like this where I go down rabbit holes. It's not often, but I'm grateful for these little moments every now and then because it does make me kind of reset the way I talk to Mila, how I respond to certain things that she tells me about what happens at school. Like if someone said something mean to her or if someone pushed her, which honestly, sometimes I think she just tells me to get attention.
Yeah.
So jury's still out on some of those hits and pushes, but it does make me think a little bit more about how I want to do things as they get older. And then also, I think it does open the door to have the conversation with our partners to make sure we're aligned on how we're going to handle those things. I mean, granted, when we watched the documentary, Yassine was like, we can cross that bridge when we get there. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to talk about this right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how are you not wanting to talk about it? This is crazy. What would you do?
Yeah, well, I think so much of it depends on what your kid is like.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
Because I think your approach is different if you feel like they're easily influenced
mm-hmm.
or
very sensitive. I think about that a lot. Or just
like trying to prove something.
Yeah. So
the identity stuff I really struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
I really struggle with how do I make her just, I tell her all the time, I'm like, usted es segura de sí misma. You know, like confident, like you're sure of yourself. You know who you are. That doesn't waver. Because for me, I think we've talked about this before. You know, I went to my majority minority elementary school until 3rd grade. In 4th grade, I tested into a gifted and talented program. And then that was all white kids. I mean, there were 4 kids of color in our class from 4th grade to 6th grade. And then in 7th and 8th grade, I was still in those classes, but obviously the school, right, and my electives were with all of the kids. Mm-hmm. But my core classes were still with all the white kids that I went to school with. And my sister and I were actually talking about this today. It's so funny. We, you know, went to church our whole lives and we're in catechism. And in 7th grade, I started catechism for confirmation. And I don't remember it clearly, but for some reason, these were new kids. These were kids that didn't know me from, you know, kindergarten through 6th grade catechism. And they made fun of me for being whitewashed. And before that, I felt like I was very sure of myself. And then it led me down this path for a few years of wanting their acceptance so badly. I just wanted to be Latina so badly and their kind of Latina. So I changed the way I dressed. I changed the music I listened to. I changed just everything about myself. And I haven't asked my mom. I remember my mom talking to me. I remember us having long conversations where she was like, you're changing. Why are you changing? This isn't who I know. This isn't who I raised. And I don't remember what I would say to her. But now as an adult, I'm like, I wanted to be accepted so badly. And I let my grades fall. I became really boy crazy. Because those boys found me attractive, right? The white boys that I went to school with, they didn't really like me. But these guys, right? I was one of them and I was different. And, I like wanted to have a boyfriend like all the other Latina girls. And I have so much anxiety about putting Aurora in situations where she's struggling with her identity in the same way. And it makes her take actions that she wouldn't normally take.
Yeah.
Because when I think about me going down that path, if it wasn't for my dad's fear, I think the fear my dad had instilled in me, I think my life would have turned out very differently.
That's real stuff, girl. The entire time you were talking, I was picturing myself in the exact same position.
Yeah.
Because I was in the exact same position. I was trying to be accepted by the Latino crew. I literally was always told that I was white, but I wasn't, and as a result, when I was earlier talking about the friends that I chose that exposed me to different things, it was my Latino friends. There's other people that I was around. That's when I started to see like weed happening. And I was like, wait, people smoke weed in high school. What is that? There's just so many different things that I was exposed to because of that same desire. And I was in all IB and AP classes. So I was surrounded mostly with the white kids. And then I had the other side that I was trying to balance it all out with. And I was just like, no, but like, just because I'm smart doesn't mean I can't be cool. Like I was always trying to be both. And I struggled a lot as well. I do think though, that is going to happen no matter what. Like, I don't think that we can I hate to keep using the word control. I'm not trying to control the way that our daughters live their lives, but that is part of adolescence, trying to figure out who your people are, what your interests are, what your hobbies are, how you connect with people. I mean, you kind of have to figure it out. And yeah, a lot of the time you might not want to talk to your parents about it. But I've also seen examples of kids that have like a really strong connection with their parents. And they're like, yeah, I tell my mom everything. I know you have that relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
And I would just like to have that as an option. I don't necessarily need you to tell me everything. I want you to have the option to tell me anything that you want to tell me. And me come to you and respond to you with no judgment,
Yeah. Same.
I just want them to feel like they can
look,
do that.
I want you to tell me everything, but like Lauren's right. I don't need you to.
There might be some things where you're like, I wish you hadn't told me.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows, right? I think that
I'm so anxious.
We have a long way to go before we start getting into all this, but I do think it also starts younger though now.
I think social media is a big part of that. Because even if, we don't let our kids on social media or have phones, other kids do.
Exactly.
And they're influenced and they see things.
Well, and then they're going to get made fun of for not having a cell phone or not being on social media.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't win.
No.
There's no winning.
Well, and I also think a lot about the world that we're currently living in. And we're at a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
Right, we're at a pivotal moment in history in terms of racism. We're at a pivotal moment in history in terms of the women's movement. And while I am hopeful that we will come out on top, I also see the other side of things. And I get very worried about the world Aurora will grow up in if we don't come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, all of the progress that had been made for women specifically as a girl mom makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
We had gotten to a point where men finally acknowledged and realized that getting a woman drunk and taking advantage of her was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who was sexually assaulted and more because a guy got me drunk and took advantage of that, that gave me hope to have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Knowing that, okay, men are being held accountable, things are changing, you know, maybe things will get better, or not maybe, things are getting better. If I have a daughter, she will grow up in a different world. And I just feel like we're going backwards.
Yeah, we're not getting as far as I thought we'd be by now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I wonder, what does that mean for her growing up?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean if she does decide to drink in high school?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean when she goes to college, where I'm sure she's going to drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would be proud and surprised if she didn't. But, you know, what does that mean? And then how do I teach her, like you said earlier, right, to be vigilant, to be aware of her surroundings, but also remind her that women should be allowed to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And if something does happen to you, it is not your fault.
Yeah.
And you still have agency over your body, and it doesn't diminish your value. And you can press charges if you want to press charges. You cannot press charges if you don't want to press charges. You can tell people if you want. You cannot tell people, you know, because I think a lot of this movement, and, you know, for people who are survivors, you then feel this duty of speaking up. Mm-hmm. And being loud and reliving your trauma for the sake of others, and, you know, to move this movement along. And like, that's not fair either.
Yeah.
And what does that mean for her? Mm-hmm. What does that look like for her?
Mm-hmm. Can the call to action be?
Yeah.
Can all parents just try,
girl,
to raise good kids? I mean, I'm just, sometimes I'm baffled by the resources that are out there, the examples of good that are out there, and still parents are raising shitty ass kids. I'm sorry. But it's like the fears that we have around what they're going to be exposed to are shitty kids.
That then turn into adolescents and adults.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I know. Not everyone has the same resources. Not everyone has the same privileges. Like, I know. There's a lot of layers to it. But for all the mommy millennials listening, raise your kids right.
Yes.
Please, for the sake of humanity.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really heavy for us as girl moms.
No, it's so heavy.
But I also think of our boy moms, that feel this sense of, I better not fuck this up.
Oh, of course. I mean, we're both feeling kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And that gives me hope.
Yeah.
You know, I think about Lourdes,
mm-hmm.
and, you know, she and I talk all the time about what it's like raising boys, mm-hmm. right? And how, and I genuinely mean it when I say, you know, knowing that she is raising boys makes me feel more comfortable and confident raising a girl,
mm-hmm.
because she's an amazing boy mom.
Yeah. And there are a lot of boy moms out there that are doing the work.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you.
For real. Big time. Seriously. Shout out to the boy moms.
Yeah. It's not easy work. I know we have our work cut out for us as well, but I mean, they're hard in different ways,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to bring you down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a heavy episode.
It's just been on my mind. Going back to what you were saying with the confidence thing,
mm-hmm.
and wanting to raise Aurora with confidence and all that stuff, a word that comes to me is resilience. Because there's so much that these kids are up against that is out of their control, that is out of our control. I think one thing that I've realized all of us are needing to do is just stay strong.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of that, I think, okay, how can I start to build resiliency in my kids for the future that they're going to be confronted with? It's going to be a hard world to live in.
Yeah.
Things just keep getting harder.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, politically, environmentally. So how can we help raise kids that are resilient through the roller coaster of all those things? Because I think that a lot of kids, I don't know, I feel like I'm just making generalizations here, but the kids that don't have that, I find them to struggle more with self-confidence, with insecurities, with kind of going through life depending on their parents. They get to college, they don't know what they want to study. They're lost. And I'm not necessarily saying like resilient kids equals having all the answers figured out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it helps a lot with the confidence aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think resiliency is a life skill.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many life skills.
There's so many layers to all of this stuff.
Yeah. Oof, this is a heavy episode.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do you have an affirmation? I feel like you've been doing all the affirmations lately.
It's your turn. Affirmation.
My resiliency is my greatest strength.
I love that. My resiliency is my greatest strength. Okay. Yeah.
Fold it up. Put it in your pocket.
Save it for later.
Save it for later.
Yeah. I'm going to need that resiliency this week.
I'm sorry that this one was a little bit of a darker one.
It's okay. I feel like we've had some fun episodes. It was time to, switch it up a bit.
Just dampen the mood.
Yeah. Tune in next week for
hopefully something more lighthearted. Oh, and happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Yay.
Yay. Bye.
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 Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the Momillennials community. If you liked this episode, hit that follow button, connect on our socials, and don't forget to share with other mommies.
Want more? Head to our website, read our blog, grab some merch, and check out our other episodes. Until next time, bye.